All right, so welcome to the show today. Um, wanted to address a few things as you can tell by the title. Want to go over the notion of super races as I put down for Jordan Peterson, but also this video is about why this channel exists. Uh, the reason I built this channel is I wanted to contribute to the Black Lives Matter movement during the time of the pandemic. And I feel like part of the next phase is getting to the dialogue phase, getting to the solutions phase. And where I felt I would be most effective is addressing these people from the top down. Uh, so many people are like, what are they talking about? And I spend my nights watching the demagoguery of the right wing, mocking it and giving comfort to people who didn't want to pay attention to it in the first place. You come on, you watch, you go, oh, what's happening? Oh, they're just out there tearing up everything, this, that, and the other, trying to make the cops all out to be bad, so on and so forth. So I have to go after the people at that level. The people on the street are doing one thing, I'm doing it at the other level, which is taking apart the Ben Shapiro's, Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson's of the world, and exposing all of their stupidity and bigotry and things like that. So that's roughly the point of the channel. And I've been on YouTube. This is not my first time. You might not be able to tell. I'm not just some old guy who just doesn't know how to work all of this. Got a couple of smudgy looking videos. I was on it probably before Marquez Brownlee or PewDiePie started school. But at the time, I hoped that the internet would be what us old enough to remember the world before it wanted it to be. The Library of Alexandria free to the masses, like literacy or the printing press. And it's turned into, can you get boobs on here? And cat videos. So the novelty for me kind of wore off a long time ago, like I said. And now we're in the age of monetization and influencers and things like that. So I decided if I would use this platform to come back and contribute, not judging these people. They're making a living, they're doing things. A lot of them put a lot of work into professionally produced videos, but it kind of comes off like this. And these guys have full teams and staffs and studios working full time around the clock, rather than just being some guy in front of his cell phone. So that's also the moniker, just some guy, because that's all really people can be on here. You heard it from just some guy on the internet, and that's what it is. So that's why my outro is the way it is, because I got tired of watching videos that spend the first 5 minutes trying to get people engaged, worrying that they're going to watch the video, not subscribe, not click the notifications, not this, not that, and don't forget to like. And it's just like, I forgot what this video is about. You're so busy coming back and forth trying to remind me about comments and subscribing. I don't know if you're even worth listening to yet. Can we do that? And then if I want to keep track of everything you say, I'll make it my business to continue to find you. And also, if I'm contributing, I want to make sure that what I'm saying is not being influenced by my need for views or likes or subscriptions or Patreons or anything else. I want to deliver it unfiltered. You get what I have to say, and we can build a dialogue. I'm not against subscribers. I'm not against comments, even though I said that. I end up with subscribers, I end up with comments. It's not about banning them. It's about chasing them. So I don't want that to influence what I have to say. I have to say what I have to say, take it or leave it, give you food for thought ideally, but I'm not going to be on here trying to twerk or do a jump out the chair challenge because I think that's hot right now and gonna give me a bunch of views, so on and so forth. I'm trying to contribute to a greater cause. So let's roll on over to super races. Races is the low-hanging fruit. Somebody with a swastika tattooed on their body, or running down the street naked with nigger written on them, in permanent marker. I don't know. Just kind of easily to pick out a crowd. But he's labeled a super racist when you have the ability to impact a bunch of people's lives through the issue of race. Secondarily, not for my talk, but feminism and any of these things, because he talks about things as in his opinion, but he goes on to reference data and the facts and the things like that in his mind. And so it gives comfort to those people who are watching him that yes, this is his opinion, but his opinion is just coming from the data. It's just coming from the facts. It's just the way it is. Like you said, he didn't want that to be the facts. It's just how it turned out. Black people are just not going to be able to learn. They're just genetically too stupid. So that super racism allows him to float at the highest levels of academia. McGill, that's a big university in Canada. Harvard, that's a big university here, isn't it? So it goes into the minds of educators and it influences textbooks and whatever else. And so you get that 25-year-old teacher, gets a 6-year-old black student showing up for the first day, for first grade, and this is back there. This is back there. And that's what gets you super racist. Because as soon as Johnny is having difficulties learning, you don't need to fix the system. You don't need to fix anything. If you're coming up with studies that say on an aggregate, certain ethnic groups are not performing well, the test is broken. You don't think the test is broken because it's producing the results that you set it up to produce. But you should know scientifically, there's no DNA justification for blacks, whites, Asians, Hispanics, or anyone else to consistently not fare as well. DNA doesn't support that. The real science of our molecules don't support any justification for race. So if that's true, and you get a test that consistently produces these results, your test is broken. But you're not thinking it. Only way you would think that is if the test results came out in the inverse. And black people were doing all the high scores and white people would discredit that test immediately. And you'd have to produce another test to be credible, which gives white people a fighting chance. But since it's confirming a foregone conclusion, the conclusion people are going into it with in the first place, that never dawns on anybody. It's just defending the test like it's come from some burning bush, right? With Moses and the tablets or something. It didn't come from a burning bush, it came from people. Computer programs can only do and are only capable of what the programmers are putting into it. This is the coding you're putting into it. It's like those crime computers. They're setting it up and you're going to look, well, which crimes did you tell to look for? Did you tell to look for hedge fund crimes, corporate cash embezzlement, pollution at a high level? Oh, you told it to look for street level crimes of poverty in the inner city. This is where the heavy crime area is. For school shooters? For banking embezzlement? No. So automatically, you deciding what crimes are important determines how the blotter picks what's a high crime area. That's how you put that in there. And whenever you have that type of power, like Trump not wearing a mask, you're influencing greater and greater numbers of people. that makes you not just a typical racist out here yelling nonsense. It makes you a super racist. And again, he was tackled in particular out of all these talking heads because he has that type of appeal. Because he has that kind of, you're confirming my biases, but you're doing it in such a boring, logical manner. And I said that in the videos. Nobody paid attention to that. They paid attention to what you called him a racist. And you know, he called me a Marxist. And he called me a radical lefty. But that was okay. Because that's name calling me. All those names he used to disparage people that don't agree with him, because he's preaching to the choir. You call him a name, well, that's justified or not. Yeah, it's justified. It's justified. If you're going to go out here and label others that don't agree with you, Jordan Peterson, you risk being labeled at the extreme as well. What the hell does wanting the health care in the United States that he enjoys in Canada, how does that make you a Marxist? How does people asking for the same rights he enjoys make you a Marxist? Why is that radical? Does he want his rights? Does him having his rights make him radical? No, only when you're supposed to be the dispossessed and the oppressed do wanting your rights make you radical. Because it's a radical idea to those who don't want you to have any rights. So yeah, you're the radical left. Can we have our rights, please? Stop being so radical. Same thing he does on feminism, and it's a pattern of the things that he has a problem with. You're doing race and ethnicity. You're doing women's rights or whatever else, and then it's just your job to come in. It's not from how hot he is and how great he looks, or what a great charismatic speaker he is. He's given that dull drone of, I'm just following the facts. It's an abuse of the word facts. Just like they are telling the radical left right now, statistics can do whatever you want to. You can pick your own facts that suit your argument, da-da-da-da-da. Well, everybody does that, including the alt-right-wing neo-conservatives. So labels matter, and racist is just one of them. You need to focus more on not being racist than you are on being called a racist. That's how that works. I can't go out here and rape somebody in an alley and then they'd be like, you're a rapist. Well, that's such a strong word. I need to stop tackling women in the alley and tearing their clothes off and forcing myself on them sexually. That's the problem, not them calling me a rapist. So the fact that you running around constantly having an issue with black people and equality and rights makes you a racist. You want to fix that? Fix it the way all of these white people around the world have decided to fix it. It's not enough to stand around worrying about being defensive about being called a racist. I have to actively go up against all these structures and these legacies left by our forefathers who put this stupidity in place, who put Confederate statues up, who put these bell curve policies in place, who decided that law enforcement would just be an evolution of the Fugitive Slave Act. I actively, as a white person, need to get off my ass and go do something about these systems. And that's what many of them are doing. And the rest of you who are still standing back, clutching your pearls, trying to worry about that you're going to shout somebody down for calling you racist or super racist or whatever else, nobody listen to that bullshit no more. Look around the whole damn world. Ain't nobody falling for the looters and the thugs and all that bullshit. Everybody else out marching. Because whenever black people come up, everybody comes up. Everybody. Affirmative action, civil rights brought us white female executives, got us maternity leave, got us the Disabilities Act. It's getting the Washington Redskins to change their name. It's a freedom movement because it's the biggest, most world-known plight of oppression in the world. So the people in Canada are able to use it. The profile and the spotlight of Black Lives Matter in the United States helps shine the light in the corners of how the Aboriginal people are treated and the blacks in Canada, how they're treated in Australia, how they're treated in France and Germany and the UK and Scandinavia, how oppressed people feel across Eastern Europe and Asia and Africa and so on and so forth. It's a rallying cry because we are in the first world fighting a universal issue. And being in the first world, it gives us that profile to dominate the news around the world. And it motivates people who know our plight and have their own plight to fight for. As usual, fuck you. Don't need you to subscribe. Don't care about your comments. I'm a grown-ass man, so my life doesn't revolve around likes. I'm just some guy, and only I know what's best. Have a great day.